Welcome to Relics Radio, your favorite weekly podcast dedicated to the metal detecting and treasure hunting community. Here are your hosts, Ken from Adventures in Dirt and Tony from 5280 Adventures.
Happy Wednesday to you guys. Another Wednesday night, time for another episode of Relics Radio. My name's Tony from 5280 Adventures. Welcome to Relics Radio. Normally, you are expecting to have DK from Adventures in Dirt joining us as the host, and I'm kind of at the co-host duties, but tonight I got kind of a last-minute message from Ken that he had some personal issues come up, and he's not going to be able to join us tonight, which is fine. He needs to take care of his personal issues, of course, and not have any worries about that. But I'm here with you guys. You guys are all here with me in the chat as well. And I appreciate all of your time with us tonight on Relics Radio. We're going to have a really good episode tonight. I've got some new segments that I want to try out. We're going to talk a lot about the holiday. We haven't been on Relics Radio for a little bit, but we're back on now. We took some time off to be with our family during that time. Now, tell me in the chat, guys, what you guys did for the holidays. If you took vacation time, if you traveled, if you stayed at home, spent time with the kids. Let me know down in the chat right now how you guys chose to spend your holiday time off from work. I had a great holiday. I was able to take a couple days off. I mean, stretching all the way back to really Thanksgiving. Got to have the family over for Thanksgiving. And then, come up through Christmas, took some time off right before Christmas. It's kind of an awkward little holiday, wasn't it? Because it was on a Thursday. So generally everybody was taking Fridays off. I took a couple days off beforehand, made it kind of a longer holiday. Got to spend time with the family around Christmas. Then that weekend after Christmas was massive, had tons of people over the house, lots of kids running around, lots of noise. I don't have any hair left because it's all gray and fell out, but I'm just kidding. All of the family time was fantastic. And then we fast forward another week to New Year's. Happy 2026 to you guys. Can't wait for a fantastic year of metal detecting and treasure hunting, relic recovery, all kind of that good stuff right there. Looking forward to a really good year. Took some time off to be with the family again on New Year's, and we're back into the swing of things come this week. And of course, if you can hear here, I have a little bit some sniffles here. I saw in the chat a little bit earlier, Bob Rosen mentioned if anybody had got the flu. I hit the flu Monday. 2 days ago, I hit the flu, and it sidelined me. So I've been taking my cough medicine, making sure that I can tolerate the flu bug that I got. Actually, I've been on some pretty good over-the-counter meds, and just trying to make do with what we've got here. But yeah, fantastic time. We're so happy to be back. And we're going to jump right in the chat. We're going to see who's in the chat already. And then we're going to jump right into Relics Radio. With me being solo tonight, I need a lot of help from you guys. I want a lot of comments, a lot of conversation in the chat. Help me get through this with the sniffles. Real early this morning, Larry from a 5 Mile Relic Hunter. I'm in. Let's talk about it. Fantastic, Larry. Thanks for having you on. We're going to do a shout out to Larry later as well. That's going to be coming up. You're going to see some cool stuff from Larry that he sent over to me earlier. So Bill Hayes says, hi, 5 Mile and Tony. Welcome on, Bill. Bill, I hope you had a great holiday. I know he was down at a show here recently helping out American Digger magazine. The guy never sleeps. It's all about metal detecting and the metal detecting community. Absolutely incredible. Robert in Nebraska says, howdy. Robert in Nebraska says, for Christmas, I was given my grandfather's old, barely used White's 550D Cornmaster. Works great, but who invented the armrest is a hero. That's awesome. Congrats, Robert. That's awesome. Ski Searcher, as always in the chat with the sign there. Good to have you on here. Hey, Mr. Craig Thompson. Hey, says, hey, guys. Metal Sharks. Greeting and bringing it to us here. Let's see. History Digger, welcome on. Good evening, folks. Thanks for coming on and joining. You're spending your night with us. Metal Detecting NC, good evening, all. Hey, here we go. E-Tector. Thanks for coming on, E. We got Scotty Kappas. Yo, working late and dreaming of detecting. I'm pulling a 14-hour today. Ooh, 14 hours. That's a rough day. That is a rough day right there. Pace yourself there, Scotty. All right. All right. North Shore Relic. Thanks for coming on, saying hello. How about Jason, Detect SD? Good evening. Hope everybody had a great holiday break. Absolutely. Let's see if I've missed anybody. Mr. Norm Peterson. Good evening, everybody. Bells. Hey, Bells. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, Larry noticed already. I've lost some weight here. All of my, for first of the year, we gotta get the Santa look on. I got tired of being stopped asking, by all these kids telling me what they wanted for Christmas. No, I'm just kidding. Wasn't that bad. Let's see. Who else are we missing here? Let's get down to the bottom here. Ohio River History. Hey, thanks for joining us tonight. That is really cool. Thank you for coming on so much. So tonight we're gonna do a couple little things. A couple weeks ago when we were live, before we took the break, we had a massive Christmas giveaway show. I think I want to say we gave away close to 20 items, ranging all the way from Christmas ornaments, sticker packages, tumblers, hats, all the way up to 2 different pinpointers that we gave away on the show. And it was just our way of kind of giving back to you guys, the community that comes out every single week here and supports us on the podcast. And we truly do appreciate it. We wish we could give everybody something. Hopefully you guys enjoyed what we were able to give, but I wanted to kind of show, let's see here. I'm working this solo, so give me a second. We had asked when we had sent out some stuff to have you guys respond back to us and just let us know you got it. We would love to see all the different stuff with your family. We've got some ornaments here that people had received and sent us pictures of them. It's fantastic that we can share in those moments with your family. More ornaments, the cards that got sent out, all those kind of different things. We really were happy to be able to send that stuff out to you guys and be able to share that with you 100%. Like I said, we wish that we really could have been able to share something with everybody. But obviously that can't happen. One of the listeners in the live chat right now, 5 Mile Relic Hunter, he won one of the pinpointers. He actually won the F Pulse, and he reached out to me and sent me this picture. He was out recently. I think this was in the last couple days or so, and he's using the F Pulse. And if we get down close, this right here is quite a little interesting item. What does that look like to you guys? Tell me in the chat right here. What do you think this long, straight, metallic item is? Got some shiny showing through right here. What do you think that is, guys? We'll flip over to the next picture here. Look what he found. He's out and he came home with a sterling silver fork. It may have been silver plated if I remember correctly, but it's still silver. So congrats to Larry. Everybody give him a shout out. Tell him congrats. The F Pulse is doing him well, and it was nice to be able to see that he got out and actually used the pinpointer. It's fantastic. Again, congrats to all the winners. Gosh, I was looking at the list here again as I pulled up our notes, and the first 4 things we gave away were hats, and that seemed to be a pretty popular item that we were able to give away. Lots of ornaments. Like I said, the F Pulse, we gave away a Garrett Carrot, and a tumbler, like a drink tumbler. So really nice to be able to, like I said, give back to everybody. And we had a great time doing that. So one of the next thing I want to talk about is I want to give a shout out to a YouTube channel called Freedom Finders. Freedom Finders is he's a metal detectorist down in Pueblo, Colorado. And he actually this video right here, he actually was giving away a pinpointer. And had I was like, well, what the heck? I'll go ahead and enter the contest. Well, guess what I just got in the mail today? Check this out. I won a Profine 40 pinpointer. So big, huge shout out to Tom over there at Freedom Finders. You guys go check out that YouTube channel and subscribe if you like the content. He looks like he's got some really good stuff. This was a really good video he just had come out 5 days ago about finding some really good stuff. You guys will enjoy it. Check it out. Give him an opportunity. And I know that he loves to give back to the community, and just like we do. So go ahead and give him a follow. Watch his content, and you guys should absolutely enjoy what he's doing over there. Bells, I know you did send in a pic of your carrot. You sent that over to DK. Bells won the Garrett carrot there. That is, let's see here. Yep, Connie. There we go. So Connie, Ken did tell me that he got the picture from you. He did not share with me, but he told me that he did get that from you, and we do appreciate you sharing those kind of moments with us. I just think it's absolutely fantastic. So congrats to Connie for winning that carrot and getting out and using it and everything. So let's see here. We're going to jump into a segment here that we did not too long ago, and it actually came off pretty well. Had lots of positive feedback from it. And in fact, a lot of people actually said that they wanted another episode of this. And I called it Which One? And it's kind of like Would You Rather type of idea here. And so we wanted to bring it back this week. It's kind of what we had on the menu tonight for Relics Radio. And so we're going to continue with it. If you guys are joining us late, DK is not able to join us tonight. He did have a personal emergency that he just had to go take care of. And we absolutely want to make sure that he is able to take care of all the personal things with the family and things like that. So, but we're going to go ahead and let's jump into, now this is going to be a segment. It's called Which One, like I said, and you guys are going to need to get involved with this one. I need a lot of comments in the live chat. And if you guys are watching on the replay, I would encourage you to come over live with us on Wednesday nights. Join us in the live chat. There's lots of conversations going on the side, which is fantastic. We love that. I try to keep up on the chat, and as well as run the show and produce it, hit all the clips, all the kind of good things. It can get busy sometimes, but that's great. It's first world problem, right? But I need you guys to participate in this one of Which One. So we're going to jump in, and I'm going to pop up some stuff on the screen here. It's going to be 2 different items that have to do with relic hunting, metal detecting, treasure hunting, those kind of different things. And I want you to give me your honest answer in the chat as to which one you would, out of those 2, and you have to pick one of the 2. I know it's very difficult because you're like, well, this one in this circumstance, this one in this circumstance, or maybe a combination of both. Pick one and stick with it. Let's do it that way. So we're going to jump into that right now. And the first one that's going to come up, the first Which One is going to come up right now. We're going to go with this one right here. So in the chat, leave me a comment and tell me, which one would you rather find? A gold ring or an old coin? And I'm going to give you my honest opinion as well. A gold ring or an old coin? So, for me, I'm going to be honest here. This one's really, it's not difficult, but it can be. I have never found a gold coin. I found gold plated. I found gold coin, but I've never found a gold ring. And so when it comes to finding a gold ring versus an old coin, what I'm going to say is, me personally, I know gold's more valuable, but there's something about an old coin, um, because it has a date on it. You can really kind of narrow it down to an era, to a moment. Hopefully, it's associated with that time, that site that you're on. And I really feel like it has such a it was a livelihood of people. That's what they used back then to find to go purchase food, to purchase different things that they needed in their lives. And a gold ring, on the other hand, a personalized item, phenomenal. Old gold is always fantastic. It's very difficult to argue against old gold ring. It's a personalized item. It meant a lot to people and those kind of different things. And I can appreciate that as well. But to me, the old coin, we don't find a lot of coins, especially old coins out here in Colorado. So anytime that we can find an old coin, it's definitely something that I would really like to find. So let's jump over to the chat, see what everybody's talking about here. Scotty says old coin. Good. Brush Popper says gold ring. Lurker Troy, welcome on there, Lurker Troy. He says coin. Relic Rat, gold or old coin. I'm sorry. There's Crookshank. He says gold coin. Gold coin. Let's combine both of them. You get a gold instead of a gold ring. It's a gold coin, huh? That's how that's going to be. Bill says gold ring. That's because Bill's found all of the old coins that were ever minted. Freedom Finders, there's Tom. He says tough one. He's going to go with coin. And again, Tom, I feel like we're kind of in the same boat. We're both in Colorado. We may not find a lot of old coins. And so I think that maybe draws us to that. History Digger says old coin tells a bit more of a story. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. And there's the Jason says gold coin. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, let's see here. I saw. Yeah, look at this. Saying hello to Rocky Mountain Life Prospecting. Happy New Year adventures in dirt and teams. Absolutely. Good to have you on here. Hey, there's Detector Steve. He actually won a hat from our Christmas giveaway. So, Steve, congrats, and thanks for letting us know you received it. You're very much welcome. Very much welcome on that. All right, so we're off and running. Got past the gold ring, got past the old coin. Let's see here. Ooh. Trying to see here. Timer off. All right. Here we go. Let's go with this one, guys. Again, leave me your opinion of which one. And here we go. So which one? An old bullet or an old button? That one's pretty good. That one's actually pretty good here. For me, let's go old button or old bullet. The old bullets are great. I love digging bullets. I can dig bullets all day long. They're such a valuable commodity to people out here in the West. That generally, I mean, you walked around that your gun was your always with you. Always had your gun because whether you're keeping yourself safe, if you're getting food for yourself, there's lots of uses for that tool out here on the West, the Western plains here. And so it was very valuable to people. But there's something about buttons. There's something about those buttons now, whether they are clean, they're flat. There's no descriptive marks on them. There's nothing that tells anything about where it was made or how old it is. all the way down to extra fine, gold gilt, decorative pieces with some sort of script on the front of it, flowers, those kind of different things. They were so fancy back. They were actually part of the actual garment. They didn't just serve a physical purpose of actually holding your clothes together, but they were very, very formalized, and I just loved how they were very much a part of the culture and the style. So I would lean towards finding an old button. Again, you can really distinguish it down to a certain time period as well. I was lucky enough to find out at one of our sites. I actually found an old um, flat button, one piece that was slick on the front, nothing on the front, but I flipped it over and it had some gold gilt on the back. And through the writing, the description, the back mark of it, I was actually able to find out that it was made in England in the 1840s. And I found it in a site that was generally used around the 1850s, mid 1850s, up to the mid 1860s. And so being able to see something like that, in the United States during the 1840s time period, we imported most of that type of item from England. And so being able to find that, to say this came over on a ship, it was manufactured in England, came over on a ship, came all the way out here to Colorado on some sort of a garment or a piece of clothing, really, really meant a lot to me. Nothing fancy about it, but just being able to find out the history of it really makes it pretty darn cool for me. So let's look at the chat here and see what you guys are saying. Right. Bells says old button. Wow, look at this. Jason, button. North Shore Relic, button. Or am I mispronouncing as button? Button? Craig says button. Bill says button. Troy says button. Crookshank button. I think the buttons, again, like with what with Tom's saying here, just love them. They're just such a neat piece. First one for the bullet was Metal Sharks. History Digger agreed. So many different types and designs, and on the button, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. They can become such a rare piece, but again, I just love how personalized they really come. So, wow. Rocky Mountain says found an 1864 U.S. Navy greatcoat button outside an old mine at 10,300 in elevation. That is amazing. And again, just like all of us do in this hobby, right? We get into it because of finding old stuff, the history of it, but just like this is right here. What is the story of that button? How did it get a U.S. Navy button in Colorado at an old mine? What is the story of that button? What has it seen over its entire life? And how did it come to rest and be found 160 years later out here in Colorado? So, fantastic. Love that. There's Aiden the historian. Never found anything military other than Civil War bullets. Aiden, I think you're in a good area, buddy. Aiden, he's one of our younger detectorists out there in the community, and keep at it, buddy. I know if you're finding Civil War bullets, you're going to be finding buttons as well. They're going to ring in the same mid-range, mid-tones. Keep digging those. You want to listen for those, and you keep digging all the bullets, you're going to find some buttons for sure. All right. Well, I thought that one was good. Old button or bullet. That's a good one there. It's really tough to choose one side or the other on that one. Just looking to see what we have here, guys, for some other stuff. This one's... We're going to go with this one here. We're going to go... And again, Leave me your comment down below here. Which one, guys? Hunting solo or hunting with friends? So when you guys go out metal detecting, which one would you rather do? Go out hunting by yourself or go hunting with friends? And this one's interesting. Because when I first started metal detecting, I was on one side. And as I've got more into metal detecting, I've completely changed opinions and have a different view of this completely. So when I first started hunting or metal detecting, I absolutely didn't understand the community, didn't understand people that want to do this all together and things like that. So I thought it was just a solo event. You do the research, you go out and find it, and you find history because that's your passion, right? Something that you want to do, you want to go enjoy it, and almost in some ways, uh, in some ways, you want to find all the goods, right, for yourself. Uh, and I can tell you over time, I hadn't been metal detecting very long by myself, and I met Ken, and we started metal detecting together. And then we met more people, and then we met more people, and more people, more people. And I got to tell you, uh, just like History Digger says right here, love hunting with my peeps. I couldn't tell you the last time that I went out metal detecting by myself. I think I have enough friends uh, all over the community that if it's time for me to go out and Ken can't go, I can call Michael. If Michael can't go, I can call uh, Jeffrey. If Jeffrey can't go, I can call somebody else and find somebody to go out with. And in my mind now, I can appreciate the hobby enough to be able to share that experience. And it doesn't matter if Ken finds something incredible, which he generally does find something incredible, or if I'm able to find something, or if somebody else, if we're in a large group, whomever finds it, it's sharing that entire experience that I truly enjoy myself now. Um, but some people like the peacefulness of just being by themselves, and I can appreciate that. It is nice to get out in the middle of a field with your machine, nobody else bothering you, and those kind of different things. So, Craig, I understand that brush popper for sure. I can absolutely understand that and respect that. It's all how you want to share in the hobby for sure. Let's see more opinions here. Bell says hunting with friends. Aiden loves to detect with friends. Detect SD friends for sure. That Bill guy out in Ohio says hunting with friends. Troy says solo, get off my lawn. Now, I will say there is an advantage of hunting by yourself if you are if you're door knocking on like neighborhoods. You're going to be hunting a house property. It's probably a little bit more difficult to have 5, 6 people. Number one, because of the size of the lot, but number two, you could overwhelm the landowner. If you just go door knock by yourself and you're quiet and respectful, it might be easier to get those permissions. So I could see the advantage of hunting solo um, in someone's yard. Let's see. E-Tector says solo. Yep. Metal Shark says with friends to bounce ideas off of, plus share adventures and enjoy each other's finds. I would agree with you for sure. Larry says solo. I just get in his zone and can really focus. My son hunts with him sometimes. I love filming his finds, which feels so great for me to watch. I agree. Because you get to experience the hobby and the history, and you can see it in their eyes, the understanding and the just the gratitude of being able to find those kind of different things. So that's awesome. Scotty says with friends, but keep the talking to a minimum. Talk when we find stuff. That is for sure. Let me know if you guys are enjoying this side of things of which one. It's great conversational pieces. To each their own, and respect everybody's opinions about about these topics of course, and everybody's experiences are also always different. If you are, if you grew up hunting by yourself and you've only hunted by yourself, and that's just the way it goes, by all means, enjoy the hobby. As long as you're enjoying yourself, that's all that matters. We'll absolutely respect that. Ooh, this one's going to be good. All right. All right, guys. Tell me now which one, and actually for this one, there's actually going to be three options. So, which one do you prefer? Selling the fines, keeping the fines, or giving them away? I think this is a good one because there's different mindsets of the hobby, and I think this has changed for me over time as well. I think it's evolved um, over some time here. All right, so for myself personally, selling fines, keeping the fines, or giving them away. Um, I enjoy digging history. I enjoy documenting history, making videos of it, getting excited about finding things that have been lost, bringing them back up, and being able to share that with everybody here. Now, whether that's with myself, with my digging partners, with the landowners, with the museum, however we can do that, we need to make sure that we are sharing this history. So, with that being said, myself, I am a little bit more selfish about stuff. I like keeping the finds. Now, I've got some finds here. I've got another display over here in the office. Um, because I love being able to go back and relive that history, I can almost positively tell you every site that I was at when I found each specific item because it sticks with me in my brain, in my memory. So I like being able to relive that and then be able to share that also when people come over and look at my finds. I also don't have a problem giving them away. The landowners own the property, they own that history, those kind of different things. I absolutely would love to be able to share. Uh, that's my dog over there. Be able to share that with the landowners. I do believe um, the history occurred there at times. If the landowners are adamant about it, that history should stay with the site, especially if they know the history. It's family history. They've owned it for generations. I believe that those relics should be able to stay with the site, of course. In terms of selling them, uh, I have sold silver coin like Roosevelt's Mercs, half dollars, those kind of different things. Quarter silver quarters. Um, s- uh, I have. I think the somebody had said it here in the chat. Scotty said sell duplicates, perhaps. Now I have coin books, and I make sure that if I can fill a coin book first, it's going to stay. If it's a duplicate, I'll see which one's better, and I'll make sure that I'll keep the finer coin in that coin book, and then I'll sell off those duplicates for sure. But generally, it's going to be your common coins, your common silver coins, your common Indians, your common Wheaties, those kind of different things. I will be selling anything that is historical in value. Sites that I've been at where I found coins on a historical site, I would not sell those because to me it has a story that goes with that specific coin. If I'm at a house, you know, I don't know the history, the people that were there. The owner doesn't want another 64 Rosie. That's not that big of a deal to them. I would sell it off, especially with the cost of silver nowadays. Did you guys see? what silver is at now. It went over $80. $80. It's crazy. It just keeps going up and up and up. So um, those kind of circumstances, I could see selling them. But if I had to pick one, I lean towards the keeping. I love to. I want to have my own little museum here, um, and be able to share my experiences here. So let's look at the chat here. Bell says keeping them. I'm right there with you. North Shore Relic, keeping. Jason says giving them to the landowners. Now, Jason has some unique experiences, some unique permissions out there in South Dakota. So I can see him giving them to the landowners. But he has also kept some incredible stuff too. Not gonna lie, I've seen some great displays. Bill says keeping. That's awesome. Scotty says I haven't found enough to give away yet, but when I do, that choice. Now, I love Aiden, the historian. Aiden has a great perspective. He's keeping them unless you give it away to a museum. And I can absolutely see that. I know that when I go hunting with Metal Technoco Michael up north in Fort Collins here in Colorado, he is all about giving them to the landowners, giving them to museums, getting them out to make sure that as many people as he can get to enjoy and partake in that history. And I respect that 100%. I think that's very adamant. History digger, like you said earlier, like your earlier answer, I've evolved. Now I enjoy giving them away. And I think at some point, not that you become conditioned to, oh my gosh, another whatever, another Crotal Bell, another such and such. Maybe you do become conditioned and you're like, I have 45 Crotal Bells. Let me just give these away. Maybe that's going to be my experience as I find a lot more relics and items and things like that. We'll see, but for now, I enjoy keeping them. Larry says keeping. I would never sell my finds in the property. Never want them in my experience. And Liquor Troy said the same thing. He wants to give them away, but nobody wants nails. That's awesome. I think this is a good one right here. For me, the treasure is the experience, the find. I do like to capture on photo or film, and I agree. If you are on a site that the landowner wants to see everything and expects to give everything, having the experience of you digging, you locating it. I mean, first off, swinging over it, inches and angles, right, folks? Inches and angles, swinging over it, determining it's a diggable target, digging it, extracting it, going, oh my gosh, this is such and such years old, and being able to enjoy that, video it, capture it, and then being able to share it. Then I think that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Love that. Let's see here. I think I'm caught up. How about this? Talca Detector 4018. Thanks for joining us in the live chat, by the way, and this is pretty interesting. Hello, friend. I'm a treasure hunter from Chile. Already subscribed to your channel. This beautiful hobby fascinates all of us who love adventure and searching. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing the time with us here. I hope that you're enjoying it, and we appreciate you being here, of course. Oh, this was one I wanted to talk with DK about. This one, I'm really, really interested in hearing what people think about this one per se. So again, let's start the conversation in the live chat. Leave me your answer here. Which one would you rather have, a long hike to a site or a crowded, easy access site? So something that could be a half mile to a mile off of a road, a trail, Anything like that? Or do you like being able to just pull up right in front, hop out, and start hunting? Tell me which one would you rather do? This one for me is relatively easy. Um, the ease of hopping out to an easy access site is fantastic. I'm not gonna lie. Hopping right out of the truck, turning on your detector, and getting right on the site is great. In my opinion, though, you're also gonna have either it's been hunted before, or because of the access, you're gonna have a lot of trash there. I prefer, and these are the sites that we even generally hunt out here in Colorado. Ken and I do long hikes out in the middle of nowhere. I love being in the middle of nowhere. I'm hoping that it gets isolated at the time in history, and then people move on and don't generally find modern stuff at then. So I like the long hikes to a site. People aren't going to put in as much effort. They're more difficult to find. And my hopes are honestly, hopefully people haven't been out there recently in order to drop all of their aluminum cans, bottle caps, and pull tabs. So that's my opinion. I like the old sites that are gone, non-existent. They're fields now. They're farmers' fields. They're open plains. They're in areas that people just don't. They drive down the dirt roads, but they have no idea what the history is that used to be out there. I love those sites, um, for sure. I would hunt those 99 out of 100. So so let's see what you guys think. Robert in Nebraska says long hike. Detect SD says long hike. Scotty Coppers. All the best spots are a mile or more from the road. Absolutely. Lurker Troy, hike it. Crickshank says long hike. Bill says long hike. And Freedom Finders, getting out there, no question, part of the adventure. You know what it is, and it kind of goes back to almost even the hunting by yourself or hunting with friends. It's all part of the experience. I enjoy hunting with my digging buddies on a long hike on the middle of nowhere where we can just enjoy our hobby, generally not be bothered by other people, and hopefully find the old stuff. And here's the one that you want to respect the most. I'm old, so easy access, 100%. If you can get out and metal detect, you can pull up to the house, go knock on the door, and you're on it. That's absolutely fantastic, and you're gonna find some great stuff there as well. Aiden has the young legs, so he says long hike for sure. uh, Scotty says working a 1600 home site in the woods. It's a mile off the road. Nice. Bell says long hike. Bob Rose says long hike. And of course, Bell says, well, yeah, the one with the best targets. Well, of course. Want to say hi to Patty, Dirt Clod Metal Detecting. Welcome on, Patty. Metal Sharks enjoys that long hike to also enjoy the beauty of creation. And that also has a lot to do with it. I know that long hikes back east, at least not in Colorado, long hikes back east can be involved with hiking through woods, hills, uh, creeks. Those you find waterfalls, all kind of some great, incredible things out here in Colorado. Generally, where we're heading out to, where there's long hikes, you're going to have open plains, lots of dirt, some tumbleweeds, and those kind of different things. So you know what? To be honest, though, in those types of situations, I put the drone up in the air, and it just makes you appreciate how far you can look out and see the mountains off to the west. And then again, you start to wonder, what is the experience? What is the story? Why did this person at this home site that I'm searching for settle right here in the middle of nowhere. How did they sustain themselves? How did they survive? Why? And then you start finding relics and finding personal items, and it all tells that story. And I think it absolutely is all about the beauty of curation. That's fantastic. Yep. E-Tector says long hikes. All right. I love it. Let me know, guys. Are you enjoying this? I think it's great conversation to get opinions out there about different places. And I know the last time that Ken and I did this, we have our opinions, but reading your comments from you guys as to what you are saying, your reason, your justification for your answers kind of starts to sway a little bit. Like seeing it from different angles and different perspectives also is fantastic. If we're not able to talk about these kind of things, it's not even worth it. We should be sharing this and enjoying each other's opinions about why we love this hobby so freaking much. This one is going to be a fun one. Let me get some more cough medicine here. Someone had asked earlier what I was sipping on. I've got some Whistle Pig bourbon, and that's what I'm generally sipping on here on the show. Aiden, I'm really glad that you're here, buddy. Aiden says, I always listen to the recorded podcast, so seeing it live is awesome. Love having you here. It's great conversations. We enjoy having you here and being a part of the show as well. All right, this one I threw in as a hypothetical, meaning throw everything out the window. This is completely hypothetical. And if you're going to dream, you might as well dream big. So let's do this one as a hypothetical question here. Which one would you rather find, a lost crown or lost pirate gold? This one should be good. This one should actually be pretty good. I know what I want. And I'm going to tell you here. And we're going to go through these. Let's look at the chat right now. Wow. I'm very surprised at this. Pirate gold. Pirate gold. Lost pirate gold. Oops. Here we go. My son always says pirate gold. Scotty says pirate gold all day long. Wow, pirate gold, pirate gold, pirate gold. Wow. I got to tell you, I can appreciate your opinion. But here's my justification for this one. Lost Pirate Gold is insane. It's going to have an incredible story. It's going to have a world story that goes along with it, whether it's been stolen, why it landed, where it is, all those different things. And I love those stories. When I see this question of finding a lost crown, the first thing I think about is if it's a crown, it's probably going to be gold. So I'm already gold against gold. This is just the way that I'm seeing it. The crown probably going to have jewels in it. And I think of crowns like English, going back thousands of years. Those were leaders of the world, and they generally flaunted it pretty well. And that's the way that I read this one. So for myself, I'm going to say lost crown, because I only associate that with a leader of a country. And then it goes back to the story of this belonged to, Louis the 27th of Tunisia. And, again, yeah, that's what I'm sticking with. And when I think of lost pirate gold, I almost lean towards gold coins, but I think E-Tector made me rethink this one. Pirate gold that has a gold crown in the chest. It doesn't say gold coins. It says gold. So those crowns that they stole, the platters, the necklaces. I guess that's all inside the Lost Pirate gold, isn't it? So, Lurker Troy says, One-Eyed Willie's treasure. Yes. That's kind of funny. But hypothetical question. It's fun. It's fun to talk about. If you can, again, go back to the story. North Shore Relic, whatever the find is, the stories are better. You want to have the story that goes along with it, and if you can't identify it to a particular story, do your best. Come up with something to tell why it got there, how it got there, who had it. I love the stories that we put along with the history. And I want to say hi to Teresa the Treasure Hunter. She's down in Louisiana this week. So I hope you're enjoying your family time down there, Teresa. Thanks for stopping in. I'll just tell a quick story. I was lucky enough to find one gold coin in my life here of metal detecting, and incredible experience to be able to find that for sure. The site that I found it at has a story to it. So in terms of not only the monetary value of that coin having only 88,000 of them minted, which makes it a very rare coin, the condition that it's in, having it graded and slabbed and all those kind of different things, there's the monetary side of it. But I can tell you 1,000%, I don't see it would be very difficult for me to sell that coin because of the story that goes along with it. Now, the story is very interesting. I'll just tell you that. And I can't go too much into the story just because it kind of tells where the site is, and that's not something that I'm willing to give up. But I have a script along with the coin. So as I pass, that script will stay with the coin and tell that story and pass along the story of that particular relic and that gold coin and stays with it. And to me, the stories of the objects that I find and that we find here in the hobby are absolutely incredible, and invaluable to me. So let's go with that. Let's see here. Here we go. Let's do this one. This is about equipment. So this is going to be kind of a pick one of what type of equipment you prefer to use here. So tell me down below, guys, which one do you or would you rather have, wireless headphones or the wired headphones? When you're using your metal detector, would you rather go wireless, like these connected through Bluetooth, or do you have that wire so you're not getting the lag, latency, those kind of different things? And I think this one's pretty easy. As technology has advanced, I have not been in this hobby. I think Bill Hayes has been detecting longer than I've been alive. So that tells you how long Bill has seen technology evolve and change. From a detector to then having headphones that were wired directly to it, to then evolving over to the wireless. For myself, the wireless is the way to go. Just the ease, the comfortability of it. It's not you're not strapped to the actual machine itself. I think even Teresa said it's unanimous. Everybody has said wireless. And I think that's the way that it's going. I think technology has evolved and changed enough that the concerns of the latency problems uh, are pretty much non-existent. Talk about low latency. They're Bluetooth connected. Everything is getting more and more easier to go towards the wireless. Even Scotty says, "Why would anyone want wired?" Well, number one, you would want wired, or I guess in one circumstance you would have wired, and that's if you're hunting underwater. They have not done anything with uh, the Bluetooth technology. You can't use it underwater. So, in those circumstances where you are scuba diving or you're submerged underwater, which these machines now can go down to who knows how deep they can go, you would have the wired. But on land, in rivers that you're not submerged with, wireless has to be the way to go. Um, 100%. It's just the way that it goes, and I think it is unanimous. Native Angles 1565, 1565. Wireless, Steve Mussman. Welcome on there, Steve. Good to see you there, buddy. Wireless, Bill says wireless. And again, like I said, Bill has probably seen the evolution of the machines and probably can appreciate, I know he appreciates the machines that we're using now in terms of weight, depth, discrimination, headphones, audio, uh, frequencies, all of the different things they have that evolved so much. I'm sure Bill is amazed and just I know he gets out there all giddy with his newest stuff and just loves hunting. So Teresa says wireless, Larry says wireless, Robert wireless. Um, I think that's the way to go. Absolutely, of course. Um, And Steve, yeah, some prefer no headphones, and that's going to be the next question I think that you're bringing up. We'll get to that too. Want to say hi to the Tin Man. I like the wired headset, but then old dogs do not like new tricks. I talk with the Tin Man here quite frequently, and he keeps telling me that all the new technology is go back out to these different sites because your machine now is going to find a heck of a lot more than he used to. He definitely is an old dog that does not like new tricks. Hey, Buckle Boy, welcome on there. Good to see you. Um, Real quick, now that William has joined us, I just want to give a quick shout out to Buckle Boy. If you guys have not picked up his new book, please reach out to him. Pick that up. I got it for Christmas. It's sitting right over there on the shelf. I picked it up for Christmas. Actually, Ken picked it up for me for Christmas. How cool is it to have friends that buy you a Relic book that you can sit down and read for a year? So shout out to Buckle Boy. Thank you, Ken, also for an incredible gift for Christmas. But reach out to Buckle Boy, pick up that Relic book that he has. It's absolutely amazing. Or you can get it through Butch Holcomb over at American Digger Magazine. Make sure you get one. It really is a fantastic book. I don't even know how in the world I'm going to be able to get through it or put it down for sure. So, and Buckle Boy's opinion, I like wireless headphones, but a wired detector. I don't like having 30 things to have to charge. Absolutely understand that. Uh, Great book. Book is phenomenal. Yes. Love it. So Steve was just talking about this, and I did have it on here. And that was going to be, where is it? Here we go. And I think this is another interesting one here. Now, out of these two, because you can only pick two here, which one would you rather hunt with headphones or just the speaker audio, no headphones? So you hear all the, you don't have the headphones on, you just hear the machine, or you're dialed in with the headphones, either wired or wireless. Which one would you rather have or use while you're out metal detecting? And for me, this one is interesting. Hunting in the heat adds to the difficulty of wearing headphones. For my Manicore, I went and picked this up. It's the WM09. It's a wireless module. I don't know if that's going to focus or not. It's a wireless module that I can use with my Manicore. Now, in there, I can actually use this to hook in earbuds, wired earbuds. And that allows me in the heat, instead of wearing some big muffs over my ears and I sweat profusely, this allows me to have just the earbuds inside my ear canals and not have the big muffs. So for me, the heat adds a little bit to it. I definitely do not like hunting in the heat with big earmuffs, but I got to tell you, if you're in a site that's been hunted out and now you're going for the squeaky targets, the deep targets, the scratchy targets, having headphones to be able to hear the small, minute little tones and audio signals are key to me. When we're in a group, I actually like hearing everybody else's machines because we'll be in a field or a yard and it's, oh, wait a minute, I'll stop. I'll hear Ken over there. I'm like, that sounded good, Ken. You got something over there? You know, being able to, again, hunt with friends and sharing the experiences. I like hearing everybody else's audio. That's fun to me. But if I get down dirty to find stuff, headphones for me is the way to go. And I would 99 times out of 100 hunt with headphones because I love to hear and distinguish, decipher all of the tones that my machine is telling me. I prefer the headphones. So let's look at the chat here. A lot of people are saying headphones from what I've seen here. Teresa says headphones. Native Angles, headphones. A North Shore Relic says speaker. Troy says headphones. Robert in Nebraska says speaker if all alone in the desert. Bill says headphones. Craig, headphones. Love it. And Connie, what I was saying, headphones, the only way to hear those tiny signals, the tiny beeps, the scratchiness, I think, I think is the way to go with the headphones for sure. Hey, Copper Joe, I did see you pop in here. Thank you, buddy. It's good to see you. I hope you had a great Christmas. Joe says headphones. Norm says headphones. Steve loves the headphones. And here's one. And I like that you guys tell me the reason why. I prefer just the speaker. Feels more free and in tune with nature, unless at the beach, then I like to ignore people. I think that's legit. You can put these on and you can act like you're just in a zone and everybody just leave me alone. Scotty, thanks for coming on, buddy. Patty likes to hear what's going on around me. I do as well. I really do. I like being able to hear, hey, Ken, hey, Michael, what have you got over? That sounds fantastic. Let me come over to you because, again, I want to experience it with everybody, all my friends. Cliff says headphones. Scotty Bob says headphones only because it allows me to ignore people when they try to ask questions while I'm trying to listen. There you go. That's funny. Larry says headphones. Tom says same. Love hearing everyone's beeps. I can appreciate that. Seriously. Let's see. I think overwhelmingly people would say headphones. Sniff It Out says headphones always. We in our metal detecting treasure hunting club, at our club hunts, you are required to wear headphones. You cannot hunt if you do not have headphones. And the reasoning behind that is just trying to the respect for other people, especially when you have 36 to 40 hunters out in this one field. Do you know how loud that would be and distracting for you to be able to concentrate on what your machine's telling you with all of these other machines going off? So we require headphones and that kind of thing. But if you're out in a field with your friends, I know, and Cliff has been out to New Hampshire, and I know I spoke with my friend Beth and Cindy and Bill. The stealth diggers, they do not want you to use headphones when they're out in the woods. They love to hear what everybody is hearing, because honestly, it can help you assess what the site is. If you know that there's 3 people that are in there finding stuff and you're in an area that you're not finding anything, you might want to move a little bit. So it's a great way to uh, accumulate more information about the site that you're on as well. So that, that's an argument side for not wearing headphones. All right, let's do a couple more here. And again, if you guys are just joining us, I know we've got some new people here. Unfortunately, DK's not with us tonight, or else we would be doing this together where we would, argue our own sides for this of which one. But he'll be back next week. And this is a segment that I think that we're going to probably have quite frequently just because it's great conversation piece starter. And I love hearing everybody else's opinions. Ooh. All right. Here's a really good one, guys. And when you leave me your opinion of which one that you want, tell me a little bit why, and that way I can read it and understand your opinions on this one. But this one's pretty interesting. We're talking about relics here. Which one would you rather find or have or be able to save? Which one? A rare token or an old medal? This one's pretty good. This can go a bunch of different ways, and I think everybody's going to have their own opinions about it, probably based upon experience. If you found a lot of tokens, you'd love to find a medal. If you found a lot of medals, you'd probably love to find some tokens. So, which one would you rather find? A rare token or an old medal? And I've got an old medal right there. And you can see it's in a case. I'll start off by while you guys are putting your answers down in there with your reasons why you would rather find a rare token or old medal. I'll start it off. I will tell you, I love tokens. I think tokens are so cool because it defines a time period in our history of why they did certain things for certain reasons. Um, they're very rare because they can be to a specific cigar place, to a billiard hall, to a general store, and then you get to then start to do some research about those kind of different things. Find the location of that store or that pool hall, whatever, fruit stand, even, and be able then to start to research the history of that token, right? They're so rare. I've got a really good token book for the state of Colorado, and to flip through there, you're talking about so many different types and kinds of tokens. Talk about rare, right? And they do grade them on rarity or common, and I think it's fantastic to be able to find a rare token. But there's something about a medal. A medal will be for a reason, for a significant event. This one up that I have up here was for the 1905 Rough Riders reunion that Teddy Roosevelt attended, where the living members of the Rough Riders crew all met in San Antonio, Texas in 1905, and they handed out these medals to these participants in the Rough Riders. So to me, finding an old medal like that just blew me away. And again, you start to do the research. you start to do the research on it, you find the history, the stories of it. So they're both fantastic relics to find, but the significance of finding a medal that was issued and presented and given to a specific person for a specific reason uh just blows it out of the water for me. It increases the the story in my brain. Let's look at the chat though and see what you guys are saying. I love this. Robert in Nebraska says, Son says old metal, I say token. So they're torn, right? That's awesome. Rush Popper, old metal. DC Diggin, welcome on there. Good to see you. Says token. Bob Rose says old metal. Connie Bells says old metal. Now, Lurker Troyan, I would think it easier to find the history on a token. Yes and no. There are some tokens out there that have even not been documented, that they're so rare that they're not even documented. So metals generally, like this one I was talking about, it gives the year, it tells what it was for, the reunion, very specific. So the research on that one for me was very easy, but I can see why you would say that. Native Angles, old metal because of who won the medal and their story or history. I absolutely agree with that. And of course, Larry wants to find a medal from the Olympics in Greece. That would be incredible, huh? Rare token. I like the history. Good for right, Steve. Yeah, absolutely. Again, it tells the history of the town that's no longer there, with the address and what they did and kind of all those different things. I think tokens are fantastic. It's tough to choose between the two. North Shore says I have both, but overall I have to say a token. E-Tector, an old medal for the honor for the person that lost it. Again, to me, it holds a little bit more value for that person that was presented to it. Barbara's old medal. Rare token, 100%. That is a stance to take. I did see the reason. Buckle Boy did say, having now dug 3 that are listed in the book of America's 100 best tokens and medals, I see a token 100%. That's pretty incredible, William. But he's on some pretty incredible stuff. Even more reason to buy his book. Tokens will give you incentive to search out its history. Tokens from towns that no longer exist are very interesting. Yep, Cliff, I know that you've probably seen it, that tokens book for Colorado as a reference is just insane to see the different towns in Colorado that no longer exist and the tokens listed with the size, good 4 or 5 cents, those kind of different things. It's phenomenal. So DC Diggin found a token for a bakery in my town and still haven't been able to nail down the location. The information's out there. Keep looking for it. You'll find it, and it's going to just blow your brain when you figure that one out. That's awesome. I love I love the research right afterwards. All right. Let's do one more here, and I'm going to go ahead and jump off tonight. I appreciate all of your guys' time tonight and rolling with me, flying solo. I think we've had a really good time. We're going to do one more here, and I think this one really is going to make you think. I want you to think about if this was to happen to you, which one would you rather be without? So let's see. All right. So, which one? A forgotten pinpointer or a forgotten shovel? So, scenario is you get to a site, you hop out of the car, you grab your bag, you grab your machine. Now, you either forgot your pinpointer, you forgot your shovel. Which one would you rather have forgotten? And which one do you want to make sure that you have with you? Leave me your opinion down below. And tell me why. This one looks like it might be a runaway. Another unanimous. I'll give you my opinion here on this one. Now, neither one of them is ideal to forget. I mean, it's a piece of your equipment that you got a routine, right? You know you got your machine, you got your headphones, you're doing your thing, you find it, you got your shovel, you dig your hole, you get out your pinpointer, you find it, you put it in your pocket, right? You have your mojo going, right? If you forget one of those in the process, it throws off everything. You just don't feel like you're on roller skates. So neither one of them is fantastic to forget. For me personally, I would 100% much rather forget my pinpointer and not my shovel. And I'll tell you why. Where we dig out here in Colorado, generally, uh, the targets are relatively deeper. If I can't dig, I mean, what's the sense of going out with your machine, finding a great target, and not being able to dig it up? Like, what? How am I going to get down to that target that I just identified that sounds fantastic? Even to the point to where I put the pinpointer on it and it doesn't even register it. I can't get to that great target. Um, if I have my shovel, not my pinpointer, when I dig that hole and pop out that plug and push it over and run my machine back over it, I'm getting closer. Nowadays, even we have a pinpointer feature on most of the machines, so you can get pretty darn close. After that, you got to get down and just use your eyes, but you're going to be able to find that target. And I would not have been able to find it without my shovel being able to dig it up out of the dirt. My opinion completely. Robert in Nebraska says pinpointer. Bells says pinpointer. Buckleboy says pinpointer. Aiden says pinpointer. Lurker Troy says shovel. Steve, forgotten pinpointer. You got to dig. Absolutely. And I think Buckleboy mimics exactly what I said. You could still dig with on a pinpointer, not with on a shovel. And you can still find the target with your metal detector without a pinpointer. So I wouldn't want to be around Teresa if she forgot her pinpointer. I can tell you that. Pinpointer, would I be horribly frustrated? Robert in Nebraska went 30 years without a pinpointer. Can go back to it without it for a day. There you go. And I agree with everybody. The pinpointer, Bill says, forgotten pinpointer you can still detect. Absolutely. You can use your detector. Here's one. Forgotten shovel or forgotten detector. Oh, oh. At that point, you just turn around and go home. You Ooh, there's an interesting view of it. If you forget your shovel, you can still dig with the stick. North Shore says I can use the detector to isolate. Yep, absolutely, guys. These are great conversations. I love this so much. Yep. Cliff says pinpointer is important, but a shovel is essential. I started when pinpointers were in their infancy, found many without a pinpointer. I actually started because I could only afford one. I can either afford a metal detector or a pinpointer. And I bought an Ace 250 for $100, and I could not afford the carrot for $100. So I went with the metal detector and then used that to find enough coins in the tot lots to be able to then buy my pinpointer. And that's how I was able to actually get my first pinpointer. But I was not able to do it without my metal detector first. So there you go. All right. Well, let's see here. Try to get everything down. There we go. Well, I'm going to jump off a little bit early tonight. I think we went through some fun things. Let me know down in the comments right now, guys, if you enjoyed this Which One segment. I think it's a lot of fun. I think people have a lot of great, fantastic opinions, and all based on experience. Love it. Love the conversations. Love having the interaction with everybody. I appreciate all you guys being here. Next week, we're going to be back with a fantastic guest. We've got somebody lined up that I can't let out of the bag yet, but we're going to have a fantastic episode with our next guest. And if all goes well, Ken will also be back with us. We'll have the dynamic duo back on the scene for Relics Radio, both Ken and I together here next week. So everyone out there, I appreciate all the support, all of the watch it, guys. Remember, if you guys get out this week, please enjoy yourselves, be safe. And if you guys find something good, let us know. We would love to see everything that you find. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you all being here. Have a great night and be safe.
Thank you so much for listening to Relics Radio. We will see you back here next week for another exciting guest. Until then, get out and dig it all.